Hi there, this is Dr. Abigail Makem from Bioresources, and this is a presentation on macadamia orchards in northern New South Wales. In this presentation, I'm going to be telling you a bit about what's going on two different farms where they're working really hard at keeping their orchards light and their on-farm vegetation diverse. This orchard is located in Wollongbar, New South Wales, and in December 2020, a decision was made to start selective limb removal because the canopy was closing over and ground cover on the orchard floor was starting to fail. These decisions were made within the context of a general program that sought to improve the productivity and the yield of this orchard. To track our progress in rehabilitating the orchard floor vegetation, we set ourselves a number of objectives and key performance indicators. Our objective was to restore ecosystem services for soil health, pollination, and pest regulation. Our key performance indicators were to achieve maximum ground cover, maximum root diversity below the ground, and maximum vegetative diversity above the ground. The interrow was seeded in April 2021. A number of different ground preparations have been trialled, some including rotary hoe, others direct drill seeding only. We seeded 3 separate mixes of winter active species in centre strips. We seeded a 4th mix under the drip line with highly shade tolerant species. By May we had strong early establishment of buckwheat, brassicas and chicory, each of these species having been selected for their associations with soil health and beneficial insects. Into August and we can see that the strips are doing well, although we can see some bare areas where we might think about further limb removal and also future seeding either in spring or in the future autumn. This orchard is located in Lindendale, New South Wales, and from its establishment it has been managed to ensure direct sunlight to the orchard floor and optimal light interception for the trees. This grower is working very deliberately to manage plant species richness on farm in both temporal and spatial terms. For example, here we see brassicas flowering in July 2020 in centre strips. These are highly attractive to honeybees and native bees. This means pollinators are very active in the orchard in the lead up to tree flowering. These floral strips also provide resources for generalist predators, making sure that they are present in the orchard ahead of insect pests of the crop, such as lacebug. By November 2020, things in the interrow are looking very different. As a result of slashing, brassicas are no longer dominant in the biomass or the seed bank, although their living roots remain active underground. Above the ground we see lucerne, chicory, buckwheat, plantain, grains and grasses flowering and forming vegetative bulk. Although the district is experiencing a prolonged and unseasonally dry summer, we can see ground cover holding up very well here, with ecosystem services for soil health and also pest suppression strongly in place. In January 2021, there's good rain and quick follow-up with ground preparation and seeding. A number of options for ground preparation are trialled, including flail mower, rotary hoe and direct drill seeding. This is done on an alternate row basis, and then every 4th row is left undisturbed so that vegetation can continue to flourish there. Hedgerow strips around the orchard block incorporating summer active species are really coming into their own in late January. This includes a mix of sun hemp, buckwheat, sorghum, sunflowers and other species. By April 2021, we can see that vegetative diversity has been achieved year-round and farm-wide. Managing for vegetative diversity sits very comfortably alongside other major decisions like tree nutrition, integrated pest management, rat management, weed suppression and harvest preparation. For this grower, the costs in terms of time and money are modest and lead into 2 consecutive years of record yield. When I talk with growers, industry and researchers, the first thing that they will ask me is what should I put in a seed mix? It's a great conversation to have because it really gets to the heart of the why and the how of implementing vegetative diversity on a given farm. To prepare a mix, we'll consider functional ecology, seasonal performance, site conditions, market availability, and cost. Species that fit this brief and which have been covered in this presentation include brassicas, clovers, sorghum, sunflowers, sun hemp, flax, vetch, millet, teff, buckwheat, chicory, lupins, pea, lucerne, prairie grass, just to name a few, along with grasses and weeds under reduced management programs. While the decision to implement strategies for achieving vegetative diversity may be associated with yield in the context of good overall farm planning and decision making, it is the restoration and conservation of ecosystem services that is the primary objective. Below the ground, we will see improvements in root diversity and with that changes in soil health. For example, with sunflower roots, we can see better stabilisation of soil aggregates. Likewise, where there are legumes, we are likely to see nodulation and hence nitrogen fixation. Above the ground, we will see that overall improvements to vegetative diversity, and especially the presence of floral resources, brings with it noticeable changes in the numbers and diversity of beneficial insects, including pollinators and generalist predators. So if you're interested in trialling seed mixes in your orchard interrow, where should you start? First, assess light to the orchard floor, soil health, including available soil moisture, nutrient availability, and compaction. On the basis of this assessment, be realistic about what you can achieve with your first seeding, but also remember that with successive seedings and careful selection of plant species, these plants will do the work for you. They'll break up soil compaction, they'll improve soil organic matter, and so on. Next, consider your machinery and ground preparation options. As a starting point, considering a pre-made mix is not a bad option, especially if you need to get seed in the ground pretty quickly, for example after row removal and heading into a wet season. In my experience, however, the benefits of a custom mix are superior, and it's well worth the effort to ask around for advice on putting together the right mix for your orchard.